A Little Bit of Your Man is Home Tonight by Artie Blues Boy, which the foundation of which we're going to talk about right now with Clifton Pierce, who is a good buddy of Betty Peyton White and Cicero Blake, who is being kind of the center for this upcoming concert that you have going on behalf of this foundation. Can you tell us a little bit more about who you've brought together for this concert?
Well, first thing I want to do is tell you about Artie Blues Boy White. Artie was a mechanic from the South, and always thought he could sing when the other guys could sing. And they gave him a shot one day. Lord and behold, he could sing. Okay. But the next thing is, Artie was extremely funny. He was extremely funny, and I'll never forget Little Milton's funeral that was held in Mississippi, and 2,000 people there. And Artie was sitting in the choir by himself, just sitting there, you know, mesmerized. And Scrap Iron, that was Little Milton's promotion director. Okay, he said that Milton, when he died, he wanted to be buried in a coffin with a white suit, a bit of Hennessy, and his guitar in the coffin. Instead, his wife cremated him. Okay.
She might have had an axe to grind, huh?
Yeah, she had an axe to grind. I just want to tell you that little story. Had an axe to grind. But anyway, I have a personal relationship with Artie, in is that he was like an uncle to me. My brother and Artie were real good friends. And my brother passed away. His name was B.W. So whenever Artie saw me, he would call me Little B.W. You know, so I had a real personal relationship with him, with Artie. You know, and I'll never forget, I had Bobby Bland at the East of the Rhine, and Artie came in, you know. And so him and Bland had a real good time there. And by the way, Bland was a mountain of a man, like 6'5", 325 pounds. You know?
We're talking with Clifton Pierce.
Yes, sir.
And Clifton, so Artie's wife, Betty, set up this foundation, the Artie Blues Boy White Foundation. And this concert is going to raise money for the scholarship fund.
Well, let me say something about Miss White, because I didn't know her. But Miss White is a person of the people. And when Artie got sick, you're talking about somebody that took care of her husband while he was sick. So I already had admiration for her. So when the foundation came about, I just kept it in the back of my mind. But I always wanted to work with Cicero. And then when Otis Clay died, I said, well, let me try to get with Cicero before something happens to him.
Wow.
As a concert promoter. And so Cicero went into a hospital and rehab for over 4 months. And so Miss White called me and asked me, how would you like to do? You still want to work with Cicero? And I said, yes. And so that's when we came up with the idea of doing this tribute and concert for Cicero Blake.
So let's talk about, that's coming up, March 8th,
March
right?
8th,
And where is it?
It's in Bellwood, at the Touch of the Past. And that club has been there for some years, and they have live entertainment. So that's where Cicero wanted to have it, so that's where we're having it.
So it's Bellwood, Illinois, 947 Manheim Road.
Right.
A touch of the past.
Right near the gun range over there.
Huh?
Right near that gun range.
Oh, okay, you've been in the area. Okay,
Used
very
to,
good.
the old days.
Yeah.
Let's hear a little bit about you, Clifton Pierce. You, I understand, have been a club owner for a long time, have a number of clubs.
Either club owner or ran them.
Yeah,
And,
tell us about that. We both ran a club.
Okay, one of the clubs that I'm still presently involved with, which I closed up last night at 5 o'clock.
Oh, that's
I'm back up at 7.
You mean this morning at 5 o'clock?
I think it was this morning.
Dang, hombre, I can't keep those hours anymore.
Well, when you got a commitment, I'm a country boy. So your word is everything. And when Miss White called me and Lynn called me, you know, then it was a charlatan call. And I had
we're glad to have you here.
Ain't no question about it. So anyway, I run the East of the Rhine, and some of the artists that we have had at the East of the Rhine, Brooke Benton, Lil Milton, Solomon Burke, the Shylights, Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, Joe Simon. I could go on and on. We've had numerous of artists, and I just recently had a concert myself there. And what I always try to do is those who really want, I've always wanted young people to get into concert business. I asked them the question, which one would you rather be, Dick Clark or James Brown? Now, James Brown is making a lot of money, but if Dick Clark
He
got
probably had
James
better
Brown,
politics than Dick Clark.
okay, if James Brown on that show and Aretha on that show too, he must be making a lot of money, able to pay them. So I've always wanted young people to get into concert business.
You ever go back as far as the Blue Flame at 39th and Drexel? You remember that club?
I heard it. I was
Okay.
there.
You know, we want to know who's going to be playing at this benefit.
You know what? My phone is right. You know, if you go out there in my briefcase now, you'll see a charger.
No, that's
We have a
okay.
little bit of music from Cicero
Yeah.
Blake. Why don't we go to that now?
Okay.
Cool. Wow.
Okay.
That's a nice little taste, but just a taste
Yeah,
of,
okay.
of Cicero Blake, our guest, singing "It's the Weekend." Tell us about this youth group.
Well, what happens there? We created the blues. When I was a youngster, I used to wonder how did those songwriters get all those words to sing in these songs? And through the blues and gospel music, they're cousins with one another. And so through the Youth Foundation that Betty White has, through the Artie Blues Boy White Foundation, want to keep the blues and Artie's name alive. Not only that, but the legends that came out of Chicago in the area of blues, in particular Willie Dixon. Okay, Willie Dixon was a prolific songwriter.
They've had Freddie on a bunch of times, his son.
Okay, I'm not familiar with it. And I also want to share this, that it was Mick Jagger who got Willie Dixon his royalties. Because when he came to America, he was at Shea Stadium, 54,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
And the interviewers ran up and said, well, Mick, you in America now, what's the first thing you want to do? And he said, I want to meet Willie Dixon. And nobody knew who the hell Willie Dixon was. Yeah, so once he found out, because Willie Dixon was living in the projects, and once Mick Jagger found out about that, he was very instrumental in getting Willie Dixon his royalties.
I don't know. So tell us about the Betty Blues Boy White Youth Foundation.
Well, what happens there, we're going to teach young people
Right.
how to stay in the music business.
Right.
Okay? And then I'm going to tell you something else. I'm going to flip the script for a minute.
You are
J.B. Ross.
Run it.
Okay?
Yeah, thank
we
you.
just lost J.B. Ross.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay?
Oh yeah.
Agent to the Stars. And one of the reasons why I want to
Thank
expound
you.
on that because of Lynn
Yep.
and what he did for her.
Yep.
And not only that, but James Brown and a lot of the others. And to give you an example, right now, Mary J. Blige is up for 2 awards in the Academy Awards.
Right.
Owe the government $10 million.
She does.
Owe the government $10 million. There. Mismanagement of the funds. That's what I'm saying. You got to read the fine print.
Gotcha.
That's what I'm talking about. You got to read the fine print. And JB was there for those that couldn't afford it. To be a legal agent to them. So I want to acknowledge him with the
Thank you.
passing of him these last couple of days
I'm
ago.
so glad you brought JB
Yeah,
up.
Thank you.
Yeah. And he would be at the set.
Yeah.
You know, you look up at High Chaparral or Eastern Orion and there JB set. You know, so I just want to acknowledge him through the passing of him. And hopefully one day Betty and I will do a show in honor of J.B. Ross.
Thank you.
And what happened here, like I was saying earlier, I carry a charger around with me now with an extension cord. Because once the word got out that we're having this show, they're coming out the woodwork. Cliff, have you got room for me? Have you got room?
Where's the plug?
Yeah. Matter of fact, Tamika Dixon, his granddaughter, just called me and asked can she be on the show. Okay, but the Dixon granddaughter. So we got Theo Huff. Okay, Theo was a young fella that has a record out, So-Called Friends. We got Nellie Travis. Nellie, I gave her first job when she came here from Memphis. You know, she's about the size of this microphone, but she got a voice bigger than this room. And Nellie is another story. Nellie was a bartender on 79th Street, and then she performed for me in the apartment lounge. So we all got history, you know. And the bottom line is we just want to keep music alive. And one of the ways to maintain these liquor clubs that we have on the south side, if they were to bring back entertainment.
We've been talking with Clifton Pierce, and he is talking about this tribute that's taking place on March 8th and featuring Cicero Blake. And it's on behalf of the Artie Blues Boy White Youth Foundation. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's go out with a little bit more music from Cicero Blake. This is a live performance from the Chicago Blues Fest 2016 with a older but still strong voice, Cicero Blake. We want to thank our guest Kathleen Dillon,
Wait,
Gail Strom.
Wait.
We want to thank our guests Kathleen Rose Dillon and Yale Strom, along with Clifton
Pierce.
Frank Clifton Pierce here, and many thanks to Lynn Orman Weiss for throwing us together and the different changes that took place. For our retiring engineer Nolan Chin and our new engineer Alex DePompey and Dan Kugler and Diamond Gant and all the others that make this happen. Please like us on Facebook at Live from the Heartland and do good in the world. The world needs all the good you do.
All
Power
power
to
to
the
the
people.
people.
All right, no question.
See, the music wasn't playing underneath your voice.
I could hear that. But it's a new engineer who we haven't.